What's going on, guys? It's Sunday, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make $2.8 million on the Loverfella server in 1 hour. And these methods just get better as you progress in the Loverfella server. So make sure to like and subscribe before I go any further, because it helps me out a ton and it encourages me to continue creating content like this. And guys, if you didn't notice already, I'm using my blue Yeti, so the sound quality might sound a bit better, hopefully. Anyways, on to our first method. Believe it or not, the first method is actually to set up your own cave spider grinder. It is very easy to do, and it doesn't take much money. I recommend cave spider grinders because you can get up to $450,000 an hour from this. And once you get a ton of string, you go and trade it with any villagers. It doesn't matter if they're your villagers or somebody else's villagers. And if you really want to, you can set up your own villager trading hall of Fletchers, like I have done here, so that when people come to your grinder, you're going to be getting about 50% of the string that the spiders are dropping, that they're killing. So you're doing absolutely nothing for 50% of the string that they are getting. And then they're gonna come to your villagers, and then they're gonna come and trade a bunch of string for emeralds, right? Like I have done here. And then they're gonna sell it in a chest shop. You do it $70 for one emerald, and people will sell them to you because it's a good deal. And then when you have a ton of emeralds like this, you can go /warp, sell, or shop, doesn't matter. You come up to the shop, and then you're gonna sell it. Bam, that's 45,000. Just like that. And all I did was kill a few spiders and trade with my villagers for $50,000. It's that simple. It's so easy to do. I will be going over how much money each grinder makes you in the end of this episode, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But anyways, so you're gonna set up one of these. You're gonna have a cave spider grinder. It doesn't have to be max, but it has to be at least fast enough for most people to want to stay there, okay? So make sure that it is relatively decent. Anyways, next money-making method. The next way you're going to earn lots of money an hour is you're gonna set up an automatic cactus farm. This will earn you from $16,000 to $20,000 an hour. And all you have to do is have the claim chunks loaded, or the chunks loaded. So that can be people down in your grinder, or that can be you AFKing. And it's an extra $20,000 per hour. I mean, why not? It's $20,000 and you do nothing. It will take a bit of work and a bit of money as well. But the one I have behind me only earns me about $800 an hour because it is very small. If you want to earn the $20,000 you can an hour, you'll make 16 long and 16 wide, and then 32 tall. That's the max height auto cactus farm you can make on the Loverfella server without getting in trouble. So make sure to stay under those dimensions and you should be fine, and making another $20,000 an hour. Next money making method to make you millions. Now, this is the biggest way you're gonna earn money an hour. You are first going to get a hoe. It doesn't matter what hoe you get. It just needs to have these enchantments. It doesn't need to have Gatherer 5 or Harvest Hoe. Just Fortune 3 and probably Unbreaking and Mending, which is what I recommend. Otherwise, you won't be getting very much money from this. But also, don't get Harvest Hoe first. Gatherer 5 is more worth it. Because think about this. If you only have enough money to get Gatherer 5, how big is your farm? Probably not that big. So that means you're going to be waiting anyways for the crops to be replanted. So why does it matter if they're automatically replanted? all it's gonna do is consume a little bit more time, so that means you're not waiting as long. When you have Gatherer 5, then you start saving for Harvest Hoe and making your farm bigger. And then once your farm is big enough so that when you go all the way to the top of the farm, your bottom carrots are now fully grown, then that's when you start to make millions. So you definitely want to make your farm pretty big. So literally all I do is I come up here, I make sure it's aimed, and this is all I do. I didn't have enough carrots, that's why my Harvest Hoe wasn't working. And that's all you do. That's all you do. You hold down right click, run around and collect the carrots. Oh, I'm lagging really bad right now. This server is super laggy at the moment. The admin's gonna work on it. And then I just got about a little under half an inventory, which is, or actually a little over half an inventory, which is insane for one strip. It took me less than like 10 seconds. And how much that sells for is $7,000. So it takes you 10 seconds to get $7,000. I'm gonna do a quick time lapse and show you how much money I will get from harvesting these floors of my farm, all right? So keep in mind that I'm at 271,000 right now, and we're gonna see how much I go to by the end. Anyways, I'll get to it. Really quickly, I just wanted to show you how much a full inventory of carrots sell for. $13,843. Now, that's with Spitball, obviously, but you will get $13,500 from one full inventory of carrots. And with Gatherer 5, and I guess, so a 50% chance to get double drops from the carrots, plus Fortune 3, I get about a full inventory every 2 rows. So that's 3 full inventories. And it took me maybe a minute to do. And there's 60 minutes in a full hour. So 60 times 1, well, I mean, 1 times 60 is 60, obviously. So 60 times 13 is about $2 million. So that's $2 million in an hour. Boom, done. Anyways, I'm gonna finish harvesting my farm, and I'll show you how much I have after I finish, alright? See you guys then. Anyways, guys, to wrap it up, I have finished farming, and I am at $422,000, which means I earned $150,000 in maybe 5 minutes. So, carrot farming is the #1 money-making method. So, to get a max hoe, well, now we're going to be going over numbers. So, to get a max hoe, it costs about $2 million to $3 million. It depends if you want a skin on it, and, you know, all that other stuff. But about $2 to $3 million. It takes about a minute or 2 to harvest one floor. One floor will give you $40,000, and 1 hour of grinding will equal about $2.5 million. That's the #1 method making. So the next one is fishing with Dimensional Fishing 5. It costs about $3 million at the moment to get a max fishing rod. And an hour, well, there's no way to really tell because there's no numbers for us to look at. But you can get about 325,000 to 600,000. And if you're level 600 or more, maybe 400,000 to 1 million. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I have witnessed, have seen. So that's what I'm going to estimate. And then #3 is grinding emeralds. At a max cave spider grinder, 1 minute will equal 4 stacks is what came up, because, you know, like every 5 seconds or whatever, or every like 7 seconds, 14 cave spiders will drop down from your grinder. And then when you kill them, you'll get about half a stack. So in a minute, you'll probably get about, based on those numbers, you will get about 4 stacks of string, which 16 emeralds. And when we put all those numbers together, 1 hour will equal $450,000 for grinding emeralds at a max cave spider grinder. So that's definitely a good money-making method, but that's the third best money-making method. Now the fourth is creating a max grinder. Now, which grinders are the best for money-making? And that's probably one you're going to be asking. You know, price to ratio, is like a magma grinder really worth it? Or are you gonna want to go for the cheapest one, like a cave spider grinder? And I'm going to tell you. So these are the 5 best grinders that I recommend you get, starting at 1 being the most recommended, right? So number 1, I'm going to recommend a max cave spider grinder. I can't speak. Or spider grinder, but go with cave spiders because they give the same amount of string and they spawn just as frequently, but they're cheaper. And money in an hour will equal 45,000, if you're just selling the string. But if you choose to trade the string for emeralds, then you will get $450,000. So you can earn more than your money back in an hour and a half of grinding on a cave spider grinder. And it's so easy. And then number 2 is going to be blaze grinder, because it costs $11 million, but you'll make $162,000 in an hour, and that's not costing XP. So blaze grinders, if you didn't know, are the best source of EXP, and you get a lot of EXP, and you can buy things like tombs and lucky gems, which are worth so much money. So that can go up a lot more. That's why I put it as number 2. The next one I recommend is skeleton grinder. It'll cost you about $3.2 million, but you'll get $145,000 in 1 hour. And that's from the drops, just the bones. And then a magma grinder I put for number 4 because it costs $32 million to set up, and all you get is $250,000 an hour. And then finally, at last, I'm gonna put zombie grinder because it costs $1.6 million and you only get $126,000 in an hour. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a good grinder to make for starters, but it's just not worth it when you can make a cave spider grinder. It's so much cheaper and so much easier. You'll make so much more money too. So just go for cave spider grinder. And the number 5 money-making method is auto cactus farm. It'll cost like $1,000 to $10,000 depending if you spend money on your materials or you collect them. So that'll vary, but you can make about $16,000 to $20,000 an hour if it's the biggest size, which if you just skip to the end, make sure to watch the video through because I describe some very important things about the cactus farm in the video. So yeah, anyways, how do you make $2.8 million an hour? You're probably asking me right about now. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go and you're gonna make a huge carrot farm like the one I have, all right? And then you can max out a hoe, whatever you want, but just make a carrot farm and get a hoe. Next, you're gonna create a max cave spider grinder and line up some villagers, which if you go into /daily, you get a villager spawn egg about on day 12. So that'll make it a little bit easier for you. Anyways, then what you're gonna do is make a huge auto cactus farm with within, the important dimensions I mentioned earlier. And all together in 1 hour, when you have everything finished, so the carrot farm's big enough to compensate you grinding for 1 hour straight, you will make $2.8 million. And I rest my case. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Make sure to like and subscribe because it helps me out a ton and I really appreciate it. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys that are subscribed because we're almost at 60 subscribers. I thank you for that. Anyways, guys, peace out.